right, welcome to episode 21 of the Can You Geek podcast. My name is Steve. This is Errane.
Hi.
And introducing our new and improved, well, I guess our show's improved, but our new third co-host, Sydney. You may remember her.
Hello.
So Errane and I were talking, and, you know, as much as we love hearing each other's voices all the time.
I never said that.
I know. I'm trying to make it sound like we're friendly.
Oh, no. I don't even know why I'm still here.
Half the time I wonder why I'm still here. But we figured it'd be nice to bring in a permanent third voice to the show to counter our stupid opinions. And so we figured...
they're not all stupid.
Just most of the time. So we figured we were really impressed with, you know, how you brought insane knowledge and were well versed when we did our Disney Princess episode and thought you would be a great fit.
I'm so excited.
We were very excited that you said yes was actually the main thing.
Oh man, how could I not?
Because if you said no,
it was
we would have
a
been screwed.
big deal.
You don't get many chances like this.
This is true, because you can eventually take over and just, you know, be like, this is my show now.
Oh no, it'll never get that far. I'm not that motivated.
All right, so that's our big news. Yay!
Woo!
Woo!
And in the topic of big news, D23 just happened, which had some sad news right before it came out, which I didn't put in our plan, but I figured we should probably talk about Sony and Disney having a divorce and we lose Spider-Man custody.
I don't know. It might just make me angry.
I know it makes me angry, but I mean, it's.
I wish everybody could just get along.
So do I. There's been more and more information coming out about what Disney offered, what Sony rejected. There's conflicting arguments on who walked away from the table. Some say it was Sony, some are saying it's Disney.
You would think by now somebody would just put out a statement from one company or the other, or even they would come together and make a statement to the public to tell them, hey, we're trying to figure this out. Just be patient with us instead of all of this hearsay, because it's getting old.
Yeah, well, I think what it was there should have been, it was supposed to be behind doors negotiations, and somebody leaked it thinking that it was going to help their company, and it completely backfired on probably the entire process. And so they've now just completely closed ranks and nobody's talking about anything anymore other than Kevin Feige basically saying it was nice to have Spider-Man for the time he was there.
I mean, I guess that's fair.
Yeah.
I just don't think that with Spider-Man, so I have a couple issues with this whole thing. I don't think that Marvel played it smart. I think that they overplayed their hand in their confidence. Maybe that's Disney, maybe that's Marvel. But the Far From Home movie, not to give spoilers, but they just put a little too much on Peter in believing in that. And so I think it was a bad move by Marvel. I also don't think Marvel's dead. There's a lot of people who are saying they're done with Marvel because Spider-Man's gone. Just newsflash, everyone. They make good movies outside Spider-Man stuff. So,
Some of them made quite a bit of money.
Yeah, just a little bit. Like, they didn't have Tom Holland in there at all. I love Tom Holland as Spider-Man. I love Far From Home. I don't particularly love Homecoming. I think it's a good movie. I don't think it's great, but I think Far From Home is extraordinary. I thought it was a great film. But, again, I think that Marvel put a little too much investment into Spider-Man for it to be a character they could potentially lose. So I think that was a failure on their part. And I don't know, not that I just want to crap all over Marvel, but Sony also screwed up because they're morons. Like, what were you thinking? I mean, Marvel knows how to make good movies, and you clearly don't know what the hell you're doing. So just let Marvel make you money, and everything's going to be all right. But to each their own, whatever pride or big dick comparison conversations they were having or whatever. But either way, I think that both parties, like you guys said, suck.
Yeah. And from
it's going to be a bummer, but it's not a reason to give up on the stuff that's coming out from Marvel. But
no.
I might give up on the stuff that's coming out from Sony.
Well, so what came out was it was apparently actual Disney, whoever was negotiating from Disney. Feige wasn't involved at all. And the new head of Sony movies that were involved. Both of them, I don't think, like the arrangement. And so that's why it probably became a, as you so eloquently put it, a dick swinging contest.
Yeah, those people don't know how to make money. They should probably be fired.
Yeah.
Like, there's just the mere concept of just, it doesn't matter what you take here. Like, just let I don't know. Either way. When I saw the one rumored deal that they were trying to get done before D23 happened, I was really excited when I saw Venom would be entering the Marvel Universe. I thought that would have been cool. It's a bummer that was all just hearsay because I was excited about it.
Oh, I was extremely excited when I saw that rumor as well.
Oh
I did like the tweet from Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you guys see the Ryan Reynolds tweet? That was really good.
You can.
Yeah, it was.
But only in my heart.
Yeah, it was so bad. Oh, I love you, Ryan Reynolds. You're my hero.
He was apparently pushing to put Deadpool into the next Spider-Man movie to do that crossover. Like he is perfect for Deadpool. He understands the whole history. It's
well, yeah, because Spider-Man and Deadpool have like a whole comic series together.
They do.
Like they're very big. That's like that would have been huge because that's just like, Cable and Deadpool. Why not get some other friendly relationships that Deadpool's have? And like that's one of the best ones because you get all the wisecracks that Tom Holland delivers very well, as well as his supporting cast in those movies delivers well, along with Ryan Reynolds being involved. Just beautiful. Just something I would love to see.
Oh God,
I really hope.
No, finish.
Go ahead.
Finish.
I was going to say, I really hope that meme that I saw about the next Deadpool movie opening with, all three Spider-Mans in his house and Nick Fury being like, what are you guys doing here? Like, oh, well, we're not supposed to be here. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Like, I want that to happen if they can't reach a deal.
Oh, that would be priceless. That would be actually so
Peter,
priceless.
you can't call him that. That's Tom Holland.
Yeah, just call him Tom.
You can't call it. They're in the Sony relocation program or something like that.
Yeah.
Sony Witness Protection. It's so good. Yeah, I enjoyed that very much. And despite the fact that it's already been written, I still want to see it visually on the screen.
I know,
Just
right?
as you said, I want to see it so bad. So before we kind of move into D23, I'm glad that we got that out of the sadness out of our pants. Bear with us, everyone. We are going to get used to. I just kind of want to explain the structure a bit and what the thought process is here. So with Sid, she's actually been a very big fan of the show. We were very impressed with the episode that we did for the Disney Princess episode. If you haven't listened to it, I just talked to our waitress today at B-Dubs, and she's a huge Star Wars fan. I was wearing my Star Wars shirt. And we got into a talk about episode 9, which we'll get into, and what we wanted and past Star Wars stuff, and I told her all about it. And the main episode that I suggest every time I talk to anybody is the Disney Princess episode. It's just everything on it's on point. Sid just had her stuff together. She's very excited to be a part of it. And I think that when Steve and I had a discussion, we listened to our fans. We listened to, I know there's not a lot of you out there, but we appreciate everybody who gives us the feedback you do. And honestly, like the feedback's been really, really great. And there's a lot of positives that come out of that. One of the problems that comes from it is honestly, like a two-person show sometimes becomes boring and dull when those two people tend to agree a lot. And Steve's a Canadian, so he has an agreement problem. And then he'll apologize when he doesn't. Yeah, see, there he goes. He apologized immediately. So my point is proven right there. Just he can't even defend himself. He just apologizes for being wrong all the time.
So we needed.
It is my
currency. Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's a throwback. I liked it. Thank you, Sid. That's exactly why you're here. Throwing back to jokes on the show, fun stuff like that. We're loving that we have you, but just for our fans to understand, the structure is going to be a little weird. Me and Steve already have a problem where we kind of talk over each other a little bit. So as we get used to 3 people, just bear with us. I think it's going to be worth your time. I think it's really a lot of fun. We love that we have not only Sid just as a person, but it's going to be good to have like just a different perspective. A female perspective is also great. And a third person just always tends to make of all the podcasts I listen to, when you have 3 people, people, it usually is a better dynamic. You won't always get all three of us. We all have very busy lives. It might be Steve and Sid, or me and Steve, like kind of the classic, if you will, Can You Geek Classic every now and then, depending on our lively schedule. Steve will always be here, though, so his sexy radio apologetic voice will always be there for you, to have and to hold till this show does us part. I don't know. But either way, I wanted to express just how thankful we are to Sid for being here, and just our fans for your feedback. And we want to continue to make a good show, a good product. And I'm excited to talk about D23 today. I know we didn't get an episode to you guys last week. That actually is on me and some technical issues. As you know, my computer died. I've been having some other problems. Steve has been bearing with me on that, and so have all of you. I can appreciate that and do appreciate that. So without further ado, sorry, I just went on that long rant. We're really happy to have Sid, and we're excited about it. It was a lot of excitement in our Discord talking about it. So D23.
I'm not gonna lie,
D23.
I was secretly hoping you guys would ask me to join you ever since the Disney Princess one.
That's
Some
so
part
awesome.
of my heart, I was secretly like, oh my god, I want to do that. Oh, maybe I'll just
You knew
wait
you
a little
belonged.
bit. My
Yeah,
waiting
you knew you
paid off.
belonged. Yeah. Well, we're happy to have you.
We are
It's
extremely
exciting.
happy to have you. Yeah, when I told my wife that we were going to have you on the episode, she was like, wait, you said permanent. I'm like, yes. And she's like, great, another voice. I was like,
Yeah.
what?
Yay.
She's like, I don't need to listen to your voice now. I'm like, oh, God, you never listen to me anyways.
Oh, goodness.
Oh,
I don't think she
man,
really
that's
listens to the
beautiful.
podcast anyways. She's one of those like fake fans, but she says she
Well, I'm
supports
not a
She'll
us.
super
never know
fan.
you said that. Yeah, no. Sid, you did a throwback joke.
I know.
To the
That
Canadian
shows
apologetic
exactly
currency.
why we wanted you on. So
Yeah, it's very good. Very good. Very excited. So
I'm
where do
excited
you
to
want
talk
to take
about
us?
D23.
yes.
Yeah, where do you want to take us, Steve? Drive us here.
So I'm thinking first we'll start talking about the changes to the Disney parks coming up.
Ooh, yes.
And then we'll move on to the new parade they're doing. And then some of the casting announcements they did for actual Disney properties, like Disney movies, and then move towards Marvel and Star Wars at the end. If
All
that
right.
makes sense. All right, so
Avengers Campus.
yeah. So they're doing quite a few things with Disney parks around the world. So they're completely redoing Epcot Center, which is, I mean, it's long overdue. Epcot Center is very dated. So
Yeah.
it's going to get 4 new neighborhoods, which is going to be cool. So there's World of Discovery, World Showcase, World Celebration, and World Nature. It's just a celebration of everything in the world from what I was reading. They're not really holding anything back with it.
It looks promising.
It does, very much. And I'm just trying to scroll through the pictures right now to see if there's anything that's really worth mentioning. It all ties into different movies. So, like, World Nature is going to be Nemo and Friends, Land and Seas, nature stuff, Moana. World Celebration is more Spaceship Earth and, like, celebrating everything. The World Showcase is going to think more like Mary Poppins area, Beauty and the Beast sing-along, Ratatouille adventures, and stuff like that. So it's a well thought out, very exciting change for something that's needed it for a very, very long time.
Oh, yeah. I don't even remember the last time I went to Epcot.
Yeah, I actually don't think I've ever been, but I know it's been a long time coming.
I think
Now,
I was
correct me.
10.
Epcot's the one with the big silver ball,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay, so that was a very dated park, but so I've been there twice now. The first time was when I proposed to Jess, and the second time was when, which I proposed to her at, I think Magic Kingdom. That's where Cinderella's Palace is, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And that's a different park. It's really hard to remember now, right? It's like Magic Kingdom, Animal Kingdom, Epcot,
They're all
and
connected.
then Hollywood.
But
Yeah, well, but you have to pay. Like, there's a different like park pass for some things. Like, it was really strange the way it was all done, but it was very, very cool to see the different areas and how thematic they were. But I will tell you, Epcot, the one thing, are they getting rid of the around the world capability though?
Everything I've read doesn't say that.
Yeah, they don't mention it really.
Okay, good. That's important because you can visit every country and you do the around the world challenge. So me and Ty, we started at one end and you go the entire way getting a new drink at every country.
Oh,
And it's
nice.
seriously a good time. Yeah, I didn't make it. I threw up in Japan. I don't do well with sake. Didn't go well for me. I've had sake warm, cold, room temperature, in a beer, which is what I did there, trying a different way. I still threw up, and I kept drinking afterwards, but I didn't make it all the way around without getting
I
sick.
love
So
that
it
you
was
tried to
sad.
do the World's End challenge.
Yeah, it was a good time.
That is one of my favorite movies, by the way. And pretty much anything by Simon Pegg, though.
Yeah, because they're amazing.
Yeah.
I was never old enough to do that when I went to Epcot. I think I was 12 the last time I went, so that would have been a little awkward.
Yeah. I haven't gotten to go to the Florida one yet, but it is now probably higher on my list than taking my kids to California, just because I really want to, which leads into the next, hey, segue. The new hotel they announced in Florida, the Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser.
Oh my
I
God, it
wanna
looks
check
so
this
freaking
place out.
sweet.
Oh,
Yeah.
The funny thing is, though, it's designed to only be a 2-night stay.
Oh,
So it's a little interesting that they would restrict it to that, but I'm really, really, really excited for it.
interesting. A
I don't
two-night
know
stay.
why they
Like,
would limit that.
I think they're just designing the whole experience to be around 2 nights. So
Oh, okay.
I think it's if you
Like,
do,
hey, we're going to this place, and then we're going to
Yeah.
see this, and then we're going to take you home.
kind of, yeah.
Okay.
So I know it's like from what I heard early on, you're very much expected to be immersed into it. Like that you will have clothing provided to wear. So you're like a villager on the cruise. Like, so you're full on immersed in the Star Wars world. It's a little bit different than just a
Wow.
typical hotel. Yeah.
You get to
they're
keep the
turning the
stuff?
hotel into a ride? Yeah, that's a good question. Thank you, Sid. That's an excellent question.
I totally missed it.
Do you get
You
to
get to keep the
Steve?
stuff.
That I hope so, as long as it's
mean,
not
that'd
one of those
be-
Coke bottle grenades.
Yeah, that's true. Oh,
I had to
that's
share that with
hilarious.
you, man. I was like, he has no choice but to fly there, and he's going to be screwed
Oh, I just
when
wouldn't.
he
You
can't
would never
bring
be able
this
to bring
back.
it. I would ship it. That's what I would do. I would probably buy a bunch of stuff and then just ship it all back like UPS, and hope it gets through the
God.
border.
Yeah, I was about to say, you even have to cross the country border, man. No, they're gonna be like these Coca-Cola grenades. They're not getting through to Steve. Those those pricks at the country border are like sitting there like, oh sweet, we got more stuff, more collectibles from Star Wars. Woo!
Actually, what I could do is there's one nice thing about living as close as I do to the border is there's very genius people in Washington State that have converted houses into shipping facilities, so you can ship anything to
out.
them and use it as an address. And I can drive across and pick up a package and then just have it in my car and drive back across the border.
Get out of
I
here.
have
That's
in-laws that live in
genius.
Linden.
Yeah. And I mean, I pay $3 a package to have it shipped to this one that's open 24 hours a day. So what they do
That
is
is cool.
the entire inside of the house in the heart of Blaine, Washington, has been converted into just lockers, and they send you, so you create an account, you prepay, they take $3 out of your account when you take the package out of the locker, and they'll text you and email you the code for the locker, and you just show up at any time you want, type the code in, locker will open, you grab your thing out, you close the door, and you walk out, and there you have your package. So I have an American shipping address if I want it,
Oh, that's legit.
which I've used
That is
multiple times on
cool.
Amazon. So, yeah. So I mean, there's ways I'll be able to get my Coke bottle back across the border.
Smart.
Yeah. Where there's
And
a
you
will,
must.
there's
They
a
look
way.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of this just to get a Coke bottle. But yeah, no, I really want to
cool,
do the
though.
Galactic Star Cruiser now.
Oh, I want to do this so bad.
Yeah. So when Errane decides to take Jess and the kid there, I think we're going to try and plan the same time. So you got to give me plenty.
I'm totally down.
Yeah, you got to give me advance notice though, Errane, because one, I need to book it like shitloads of time in the future, and I've got to save like a shit ton of money because
5 years from now.
Okay, because Canada money sucks in the U.S. So my monopoly money doesn't go very far. I need to save it up.
You could have just said Canada money sucks, and you didn't have to say in the U.S. Just in general.
Other parts of the world, they love it, just not in the U.S. Mexico likes Canadian money. Just saying.
Yeah, but where do you got to go to get to Mexico?
That's actually
come through the U.S.
Unless I fly on a sardine airline, yes.
Oh my God. Sardine Airlines, where Canadians get to Mexico.
Yes. So with the upcoming changes to all of their things, we're going to get to the Avengers Campus because that is actually really interesting.
Sounds boring. Who wants to go there?
Totally boring. But with all these announcements, they're actually being very smart, and they are going to release an app called the Genie app, which is going to help when you go to a park to plan out your trip. So you can see wait lines. It's an interactive map, stuff like that.
Yeah, I was reading about that, and holy cow. I mean, even in just Orlando, that would be an epic help because there's, what, four parks there? Or 3?
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think there's
all
4.
separate
There's Hollywood.
parks.
Yeah, Hollywood, Magic Kingdom, Animal Kingdom, Epcot. Those 4 at least.
Yeah, and in
I don't
California,
think Hollywood's really considered Disney, though.
California has
Hollywood
3, I think.
That's Universal
Hollywood,
Studios.
No, Hollywood Studio. Disney has their own park that's like, I'll look it up. You guys keep doing your thing. Hold on.
Actually, this is just for the Walt Disney World Resort. So this is only for Orlando. This isn't actually for California. I was under the assumption it was for all parks.
No, are you talking about the hotel thing?
No, the Genie app. The Genie app is just specific to the Walt Disney World Resort.
Oh, interesting.
And the hotel is also in Orlando too.
Yes, the hotel is just in Orlando.
That I knew, and that was part of the reason they had such a delay on opening, because it was a bigger deal what they were doing at Orlando. Orlando kind of gets a little more of the treatment beyond what whatchamacallit has the California Disneyland.
Yeah. Although
they're putting the Avengers Campus in California.
Yeah. So they're replacing the A Bug's Land, which is based on A Bug's Life from 1998. So it's a little bit outdated. So it's kind of nice they're going to be changing it. I don't know how... no, kids are going to love it. I was going to say, I don't know how kids are going to take that, but honestly, I think they're going to go insane when they get there.
Superheroes.
It's superheroes.
Yep.
So in their official release, they say the campus will feature the Worldwide Engineering Brigade, which is known as WEB, and will house Disney's first ride-through Spider-Man attraction, which will allow fans to sling webs just like the iconic superhero. Take my money now.
Are they going to be allowed to build a Spider-Man ride?
To say, did they really throw out too much? Have they done well? Because I think because they have Marvel, it's just cinematic. So they still can do comics with Spider-Man. They can still do like he's saying with rides and stuff. I think they have the right to do all of that stuff.
So one thing that's actually even come out is Disney owns the right to Spider-Man on television.
Yes. Oh. Yeah, that was another thing.
It's just movies.
That's there.
So all of these Spider-Verse TV shows that Sony announced that they are planning on making, they have to get approval from Disney to release them. So it's really weird. But yeah, Disney owns 100% of the marketing rights for Spider-Man, so they can do whatever they want in parks, is my understanding.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
okay, then.
To clarify what I was talking about, so at Walt Disney World Resort, so in Orlando, you'll find Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Disney's Hollywood Studios, because that's where the Aerosmith ride was, and then Disney's Animal Kingdom. So those are your main parks, and then they have Disney's Blizzard Beach and Disney's Typhoon Lagoon water parks.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's Hollywood Studios.
Hollywood Studios. Oh, I stand corrected. I didn't even know that existed.
It's a baller park, man. That place is legit. Jess and I think that might have been our favorite park. I guess the Magic Kingdom was our favorite park because I proposed
Speaking of dated, that's how long it's been since I've been to Orlando.
Yeah, it was fun. That was seriously a good time. It's a cool place to go. I just want to go back to get Ahsoka Tano's lightsabers.
Yeah, I know
That's
you
my
do.
goal.
As soon as I sent
Yeah,
you
that's
that
what I
picture, I
want.
knew you would. You're like,
Yep.
we are going back.
Told Jess I have to spend money. I was like, I'm sorry, babe, but I'm not sorry, and I have to get a black kyber crystal. So
Yeah. So
I have
apparently
goals.
they're gonna make it so you can fly inside a Quinjet on one of the rides inside Avengers thing.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So if they go as immersive into this as they did with Galaxy's Edge for Star Wars, it is going to be insane. I really hope people start going to Galaxy's Edge. Apparently attendance has been lacking. I think part of it is the way they've released it. So they opened it, but you had to be either a VIP or pre-purchase for like the first 6 weeks it was open. And then it got open to the public, but a lot of people went in that 6 week time not knowing they had to pre-purchase and weren't able to get in. So a lot of people left really upset. And now that it's open to the public, the attendance hasn't been to the level they've been expecting. So everybody's like, please start going. Because
I think Disney deserves that for having that kind of elitist approach to it in the first place.
I do. I don't have issue with the soft opening. Like, okay, you need to buy your way in for like a certain amount of time, but don't announce it as open during that time. Just, it's a special feature that, people can pay for, and do a soft opening where you can control the amount of people in there so people get used to it. Because the staff training, they're actors. Like, so for those that don't know, in the Disney World and Disneyland parks, the only people that are really truly in character are the people dressed as like the princesses or other characters. They're in character all the time. In Galaxy's Edge, everybody is in character. The people working the station where you go to build the lightsaber, they act like they are hidden rebels, and stormtroopers will come through and they'll hide everything to build it while they're in there, and they'll talk about other stuff. The stormtroopers will harass people if you say the wrong thing. They like arrest you. Like, it's full immersive. This is a Star Wars world. So it's a completely different experience in comparison to the rest of the park. And so I'm hoping.
I want to go so bad.
Exactly. I want to go so bad because it's what I would love to experience. And so I'm hoping more people start to go. Like, I'm going to go and drop the $200 to make a lightsaber. Like, it sucks.
Yep.
But I'm going to do it. I've watched a video of somebody doing it from beginning to end, and I know exactly what's involved, but I'm still going to do it. Building a droid, watching the video on it, it may not be worth $100. It is really cool though that, like, if you do, so say we all go as a group and we all build droids, our droids will talk to each other and interact with each other like Furbies used to.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So it's really, really cool that way. But again, it's for the price, watching the process, it's not quite what I would have hoped for, but hopefully that'll change as episode 9 comes out, because there's going to be new droid models. And so there's little things like that. So this is why, like, I'm super excited that, like, the new hotel's opening up and it's going to be this super immersive experience. From what I'm reading about the Avengers campus, which is also going to be in, I want to say it's going to be in Paris or Hong Kong as well.
Paris.
Yeah. So it's California and Paris that are going to get it. I'm hoping they do the same treatment with Galaxy's Edge, where it's immersive, everybody's involved. Like, there's sounds of TIE fighters flying over top of the area. Like, they have speakers that do it. In some areas they have a screen over top and you'll see it fly overhead. The staff will duck and look up and be like, oh my God, what was that? Because it's like, that was really low. And so it's really cool. And I know, like, my kids are going to love it. So I'm really hoping that it stays and they can keep going on it.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I need to start saving money.
Yes, I completely agree with that. So along with that, they've announced new rides. So like they're going to do Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, which is going to be in California and Florida, which is going to be nice. They're redoing Hong Kong. So they're going to revamp the castle, which will become, now they're going to call it the Castle of Magical Dreams. And there's going to be 2 Frozen themed attractions in Hong Kong. One of them, which is called Wandering Oaken's Sliding Sleighs, which I would absolutely love because I think Oaken was hilarious in the movie. There is a new Disney cruise ship line and island, or I think they're calling it island.
No, they're calling it Wish, I think.
Yeah, and it's a Rapunzel themed ship.
Yeah, that's what I'm saving my money for because my son is in love with her.
So along with this, which isn't in their announcements, which I thought was actually a little bit crazy, they have now, I think as of this week, started a Disney cruise out of Vancouver, Canada. Which for those that don't know is where I live. So I'm trying to find out information on it because if it's cheap, I don't have to fly anywhere. And then we can just do a Disney cruise. So my wife gets seasickness very easily, but I know cruise ships are different because they have those amazing ballast tanks. So I'm hoping she won't get seasick while we go on a cruise, but it's Disney. I don't care. So that's something.
What do the cruises entail that are different than like what do you get on the cruises? Like what's that whole experience like? I don't know anything about those.
So it's supposed to be like a mini park. So
yeah.
They have rides, they have the characters. Everything's themed around a show. So like the Wish is Rapunzel themed. So I believe one of the rooms is going to be the castle from the movie, and it'll be really cool.
That's awesome. That's really, really neat.
So not only do you get a Disney experience, you get to go see another place entirely.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the Rapunzel one, for example, goes to the Bahamas, which is pretty cool. And
I can get behind that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it seems really, really cool. And I'm saying and cool a lot because it's Disney and they blow my mind sometimes.
Well, and by the time the new cruise ship sets sail, 2022, James will be 4 or 5 years old, so he'll be old enough to actually enjoy it. And I'm pretty sure he's still going to be in love with Rapunzel by then. I can't tell you how many times I have watched Tangled. I can quote the entire movie. I can sing almost every single song word for word. It's horrible.
It's such a good movie, though.
I know.
When I used to babysit my sister, that was The Lion King. Yeah. I honestly want to say I watched it 300 times in the first 2 years it was on video.
That was my movie when I was a kid.
Yeah, and then my kids, pretty much anything with singing, they are now completely in love with. So I've watched Moana more times than I can count. Coco more times than I can count.
My movie as a kid was Empire Strikes Back.
My movie as a kid, like animated movie, was Robin Hood.
I didn't have an animated movie, man. Like I'm trying. I think I asked my mom this. Maybe I need to go back and see, but I didn't. There was this one videotape I had of, if you guys remember the old Mario Brothers cartoon where it was live action at first and they turned it into a cartoon Mario adventure. I had a cassette tape. Yeah, I had a cassette tape that I used to play over and over again. That was a cartoon I watched a lot, but it got stuck in the VCR, and so it ruined it. And so of all the other things I can think of as a kid, the only thing I remember watching over and over again was Empire. Like, I don't remember watching anything else like that other than that Mario show, but it did not last long before the VCR ate it. It was bad. It's traumatizing.
I need to see if my mom still has the original Star Wars tapes.
Oh, that would be awesome, because the original ones are harder to find.
Yeah, because they're not digitally remastered.
Yeah.
Yeah, they ruined them.
So you don't get to see the random, like, Jabba the Hutt talking to Han scenes.
That's still in there. It just looks
That's the
shittier.
original. Yeah, that's the original content.
It's I erased it from my memory because it looks so bad.
You keep arguing that, but like I think that was a part of the original movie.
It probably was,
man.
and I've just erased it from my memory because it looks so bad.
Yeah, that's probably true. It was pretty awful.
Yeah. So
back to D23.
Yes.
We digress.
We always digress. That's part of the show. Welcome. That's what we do.
Yes. Sid, you're walking right into this. This is beautiful. Welcome. This is good.
So the new parade they announced. Sorry, I just got a breaking news thing on my phone that the new Rise of Skywalker trailer was just released. The new parade, Magic Happens, will be starting in 2020 and will be a bright, colorful parade that reminds us that magic happens and that you don't need wings to fly. And it will feature characters from Moana, Coco, Sleeping Beauty, and other Disney films, as well as original songs to celebrate it.
Huh.
Yes, and don't mind the clickety-clacky. I am just going to see if I can find and see if it is an all-new trailer.
Wow. Going there, are you?
Hello. It's kind of what we are discussing.
Speaking of Moana, because you mentioned your kids loving Moana recently, they're actually adding an inspired by Moana nature part to Epcot. Like a little nature walk type of thing.
Oh, yeah, that's part of the World Celebration. I think it's the World one.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, it's not on YouTube yet, so I don't know what my phone is saying.
Hey, that's fair, man.
So next. We're going to get into the casting and movie announcements. So Frozen 2, they announced they are adding Evan Rachel Wood as Elsa's mother, Queen Aduna.
Who is that?
Evan Rachel Wood, how do I explain that to you? She was
by telling me who that is.
She's been in quite a few movies.
That does not help. Thank you for that.
Did you watch Across the Universe, the Beatles movie? She was in that.
No.
I didn't think you would have. I don't know what else she's been in.
True Blood.
Steven. Oh, who is she in that?
Oh God. I don't remember her name.
People are just turning off the show now. They're like, let's not listen to these people anymore.
I don't remember her name, but that was one of the shows she's been in, and she's been in Westworld too.
Oh, Westworld.
Yeah. So.
She's is she the main character? She's the Dorothy or not Dorothy? Yeah, no, I know who she is. That's awesome. That's exciting. Who's Sterling K. Brown?
So most people would know him from This Is Us.
Oh, I watched This Is Us. That is an amazing show.
Yes, he is the adopted brother.
Oh my God, are you serious? Randall?
Yeah.
Yes.
He's Randall?
He's Randall.
Yes.
Yeah. I couldn't remember his name. My wife watches This Is Us, and I know he's in it, and I've watched it, and I enjoy the episodes I've seen, but yeah.
You didn't want to say he was the black brother? He's the adopted guy. I get it. No, it's okay. It's going to be all right, buddy.
Sorry, eh?
It's going to be all right. He was Randall. Yeah, no, I love This Is Us. That's such a good show.
No.
And I love Westworld, so both these actors are amazing to see come into Frozen. And I love Frozen. Jess and I got done with this movie, and I immediately looked at her as soon as it was done. I was like, this is going to be a Broadway musical soon.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, it will. And it did. It did not take long.
It's one of the better movies they've released lately. Live action or animated, I would say.
I would agree.
I love Frozen.
Yeah.
Frozen's so good.
And the new poster for it looks incredible.
Yeah, it does. That looks pretty cool. I'm really excited. Oh, excuse me.
That's okay.
It was going to be a burp, and then I turned it into a hiccup. Thanks, guys.
It works.
I need a sound bite of that.
Works.
This will be good.
We're totally going to sound bite that.
Piece. Yeah.
So there's a new movie that I have heard nothing. I had no idea what it was about. Raya and the Last Dragon, or Raya and the Last Dragon. It's inspired by the culture of Southeast Asia, and it's going to star Cassandra Steele and Aquafina. And
yes,
the art looks incredible, and I'm really excited to see it, but I have no idea what the story is about.
Somebody named themselves after water?
Yes, apparently. It is spelled differently, but yes.
Okay. Right on, man.
Looks like it's going to be about a warrior who tries to find the last dragon to bring unity back to their world. And then the last dragon, who Aquafina is giving her voice to, was left on Earth in case dark forces return to the world.
She's as fluid as water, baby. I really don't know who this person is. But that's a cool name.
You might have seen her in a few movies.
Yeah.
Crazy Rich Asians.
Never seen that movie.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Trying to think what else she's been in. Did you watch?
Love the name. She's inspired me.
Yeah, I was gonna say Ocean's 8.
Never seen that either. I don't know what that is.
Oh my gosh, Aaron, you're killing me.
Yeah.
Dude.
I know what Ocean's 11 is with the Rat Pack. You guys seen that? Oh yeah, let's talk about Who's Killing Who now.
Oh
yeah, the original with the Rat Pack.
Yeah, no,
I did a long time ago.
Oh my god.
Do you remember Did you see the screenshots of the Shang-Chi announcement from Comic-Con?
Yes.
She's going to be in Shang-Chi.
Okay.
So
cool, gnarly.
You would recognize her face if you saw her. She's been in quite a few shows.
All I'm saying is she has a cool name.
Yeah.
So. That's all I care about.
That'll be out November 2020. So they also, Pixar came out and they did Onward, which is...
Onward looks cool.
It looks super cool. That's March 6th, 2020, which really sad was the fact that, and we're going back to Spider-Man again, Tom Holland is in the movie and people were bugging him about it while he was there. So
because it's him and Chris Pratt, man. This movie, and all these other movies I haven't really, like Frozen 2, I've only seen the teaser. I didn't know anything about the dragon movie, but it sounds cool. I mean, anytime dragons are involved in anything, I want it. But the Onward movie, I've seen the trailer a few times now and when I found out it was Tom Holland and Chris Pratt who were playing the, I guess, brothers.
Yes.
It just, the fact that they're doing like a fairy tale world, kind of like as if Dungeons and Dragons, like you get to see kind of that feature where like dragons are like pets and unicorns are the crappy animals that they are, and they're trash eater pandas basically. It's great. It's wonderful. I hate unicorns so much. Unicorns are such stupid animals, and so it's just really, really good to see Onward coming to theaters. I'm excited about that movie.
Oh, I totally agree.
Like all the nerd in me wants to see it so bad.
And that you don't have to wait too long. That's March 6th, 2020.
Don't tell me how long I have to wait, Steve.
And then, so they also announced Soul, which they didn't release much information for it, other than it's going to be starring Jamie Foxx and Tina Fey. And
yes, please.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Take my money.
Two,
yes.
Take my money.
Yep.
I don't care what it's about. You're going to be taking my money.
Done and done.
Apparently, it's a jazz musician / middle school band teacher.
Never mind. I'm out. Yeah, you had to mention jazz. I'm out. All right.
I still think it's going to be really cool.
Sounded good. Yeah, you can think a lot of things, but you said jazz, and I'm going to jazzercise myself away from this.
So, being that
it'll probably surprise me.
It's going to be great. It's still going to be good. When you look at who's doing the music for it, the music's going to feature an original score from John Baptiste with Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. So,
shiza.
Yeah, it should be good. It's not going to be like the typical jazz we're used to, which is why I'm still really excited for it.
What is Trent Reznor doing?
This score
get
for
some
this
9
movie.
Inch Nails action up in this.
I thought 9 Inch Nails was taking a break.
Oh, is that who that is?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Trent Reznor's 9 Inch Nails. He's pretty much a one-man band, but he takes a traveling band with him when he tours and stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, if they want to add Downward Spiral into this movie Soul, I'm into it, dude. Let's do this.
Yeah, I think it. I mean, they haven't said very much, but I think it's going to be good. They also,
I probably will love it. It's Pixar, so
yeah, they released on October 18th, Maleficent's sequel movie will come back.
I can't wait.
And they released the new trailer and artwork for it, and it looks incredible. Really incredible. Angelina Jolie takes that role so well.
Yeah,
they actually had to
it's just
have
a
her daughter
beautiful movie.
play a young, the younger version
Of her?
because all of the other kids were scared of her in costume.
Oh my god.
So they had to use her daughter.
That's awesome.
She did her job. That's amazing.
That is.
Terrifying.
It does. We're excited about that movie. I liked the first one. I'm excited to see this one. This next one you're about to go over, man, I didn't know this was a thing, but God, if I'm not excited about it.
So I had heard about it, and I honestly was not excited about it until I saw this picture. So what we're talking about is the live action Cruella movie.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
But when I first heard about it, I was like, I don't really want to watch it. But then the information they've released, so it stars Emma Stone as a young Cruella. It's more of how she becomes Cruella. And
I love Emma
I'm
Stone.
so stoked.
I love him.
Yeah.
I love Emma Stone so much.
It takes place in like a 70s England, really funky world that, it looks really cool. I am super stoked for it.
Even just the photo they released of her with like the dogs and her two henchmen behind her. Oh my gosh. I'm so stoked.
It looks so good. And that's May 28th of 2021. So it's a bit of a wait, but it is coming.
Did you say
Season
summer?
of the Boys.
May 2021.
I don't know if the drive-in will be open by then.
Ours is.
See, ours
ours opens early now.
Errane, you will find that you're going to want a drive-in close to you because it's going to be one of the few ways you get to go see new movies without paying for a babysitter.
Or you have an amazing movie theater like ours. So on weekends before noon, it's $6 a person to go watch a movie. And most of the time it's parents. So we go watch movies at like 10 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday, and we just watch whatever we want. It's reserved seating, fully reclined seats. Sometimes it's a bit loud, but
from now
yeah.
Bro, we have a matinee too, man. You're not special.
No, but it's the way that they do it. It's just...
Don't argue with me, Steven.
Oh, you can suck it.
Okay.
Oh! Oh! You got an insult from the Canadian. Write that down.
I like it. Yeah,
Put this down.
I need to
History.
soundbite that. That's what I need. Steve telling me to suck it. I love it though.
So
I won't,
that's
but I love
most of the big Disney stuff. We're gonna get into the Disney Plus stuff that came out after, because there was lots that came out with that. I think we're gonna spend most of our time talking about that anyways. So Black Panther 2 was given its release date, which is gonna be May 6th, 2022.
Oh, so far away.
It is, but when you look at everything else they're doing, like they're just working on the script now, and I'm pretty sure they're having to change every script they've written because now they can't use Spider-Man.
Oh, that's fair.
So they're probably
especially
just change...
after what they did in Far From Home. Like, I don't know why they did that without knowing they were going to...
I haven't watched it yet.
I know, that's why I haven't revealed anything.
No, I know. But
thank you.
That's why I haven't said a word. I'm very good about dancing around what I want to say without having to say it, because I will never ruin movies for people. Like,
no.
I appreciate you.
Just looking at the comics, there was a version of Avengers that had Spider-Man as the head of the Avengers. And I think that possibly could have been in the back of some people's heads when they were thinking about the future.
I do remember that being a thing.
Yeah. And I mean, like, again, we don't have any insight, although a lot of our predictions have come true. We don't have any insight or inside knowledge of anything that goes on with anybody's thoughts at
No,
Disney.
you just have all the
me and
comic
Kevin
books,
Feige,
so you can tell the future.
Yes, we know the past, so we can see the future.
me and Kevin Feige are best friends. What are you talking about, man?
You need to hook me up because that boy should be, employing me to come up with ideas.
He doesn't want to deal with evil Canadians who say "suck it" to people.
He
okay?
doesn't.
Don't
I
want
know.
that. No.
But yeah,
That is
so
somebody that I would love to meet.
I would just
Kevin
5
Feige.
minutes. Yeah. Kevin Feige and Kevin Smith. I would love to sit in a room with either of them for 5 minutes and just talk. I think it would be incredible.
Me and the Kevins.
Yeah.
Just hanging out.
It's a new podcast. Make it so.
I want to be the me.
Oh God. Well, so
There's just so much.
The more stuff from Marvel came with Disney Plus, which we're gonna we just can't not talk about the Rise of Skywalker. So they released the new poster, which shows Rey and Kylo fighting with Palpatine in the background.
I just watched that trailer today, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah, just right, like 5 minutes before I came down here, I watched it real quick.
Which 90% of
God.
that trailer, even 95% of that trailer is like nothing. It's all old stuff. It's just getting you hyped up for what's coming.
I'm going to slap you. It is not nothing. Okay, it is beautiful.
It's
Shut your
important
mouth.
chain of events.
It is. It's
Yeah, you
important,
need to
but I mean,
quiet yourself.
it's-
You know what? You
it's
need to
nothing
suck
new.
it. Can I
It's
just
nothing-
insert your soundbite of saying it so I can have you saying it back to
just say
you?
it back to myself constantly.
Yeah, it would make me feel better. Make that editing happen. Make it so. Make it so.
I will drop it in there. But no, so
appreciate
all I'm
that.
meaning is like 95% of it is old footage. It's not stuff we haven't seen. And
Oh, but it matters. Okay.
it does, especially when they
Shame
drop
on
in
you.
that last hooded dual wielding or dual bladed lightsaber.
That saber
Did
looks
any-
sick.
Did anybody else think about like splitting up a popsicle though, like perfectly down the middle? You guys know what I'm talking about? Like,
Yeah.
Like the
It's
double
like she-
popsicles you ate as a kid.
yeah, the
Yeah.
double. Yeah, it's like she wants to share, but then she doesn't share. It's like she has a Twix, but it breaks off into just one big Twix. She gets the right and the left one. She's being a real
just gets full.
selfish woman. Yeah, but
So-
it was interesting. I'm interested to see that weapon.
The story I read, which if it turns out to be true, is Darth Maul's lightsaber.
Well, that's interesting.
Well, then how come Darth Maul never folded it? Did she do something different to it?
That exactly. I am super pumped to find out because from what I've read is part of this movie takes place in the actual temple where they go and get the kyber crystals and she builds her own lightsaber. So I'm wondering if this is the lightsaber she builds and maybe uses Darth Maul's original one as the base or something. I'm freaking out a little bit about it.
All I'm saying is that we're not talking enough about red-eyed C-3PO and why marijuana is bad for people. We're not talking enough about that. Okay? C-3PO is just having a bit of a party, okay? That's all it was.
Do you know
That's all it was.
Do you know how messed up it's going to be when the red-eyed C-3PO is because Palpatine's so strong, he's force-controlled C-3PO?
my
That
God.
seems a little weird, but I mean, whatever Abrams wants to do with it, I guess. But where did his I think what happened is he took all the paint from his arm and he put it into his eyes. So red
just had a
arm,
good night
red
one night.
eyes. Yeah, he's just like, he just thought that'd be way cooler, and then he realized that it's paint, so now he's blind. He's like, oh shoot,
Oh
I
my
can't
goodness.
see. Oh no, I've painted my eyes. Oh, goodness.
R2, help me.
Yeah, seriously. Is anybody else sad that it's Chewbacca is dead? Because I am.
Yes.
Excuse me, what?
The actor.
The
The
actor who
fact that
played
the
Chewbacca.
actor died.
Oh, I was like,
Yeah.
that's not cool.
It just feels so strange.
It does.
I don't know. Too many people are gone. So sad.
I mean, when you think about what he's done, though, like, it's, yeah.
The trailer looked cool though. The
Yes.
fight scene between Kylo and Rey looked really, really neat. I'm interested to see what happens. It was honestly, I think I get why they probably did the trailer the way they did, because they did it in the history of how we saw the movies, right?
Yeah.
But I think I would have I think I would have appreciated seeing the episodes. I would have liked seeing them in the chronological order: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I think I would have liked that more. That would be my only complaint about the whole thing. Is like, I get it, but like, I don't know. That's just how I feel. I would have liked to have seen it. It bothered me that they did it.
No, I agree too. I'm sure they showed it.
We've already failed everyone. Yeah, we've already screwed
we already failed everyone. You got to find another person, guys. I don't know if I can do this.
Just
I'm not
replace
deferring
the
opinions
Canadian.
enough.
I agree with everything. You just need to replace me, and then we're set.
Oh, that's not true.
I think there'd be a rise up against that, Steven.
It'd be the rise of the Skywalker.
No, he's not coming to your rescue, or she. I don't.
And see, that's the other beef I've got with the way that they did the beginning of the trailer. They're calling it the rise of Skywalker, but they're showing all the events out of order.
Yeah, right? Like, what rise is this? This is like, here's one, and then, this guy, this is his yeah, whatever. However they want to do that. I'm interested to see it, because technically Kylo Ren is a Skywalker. You know what I mean?
And technically, if you'd look at the books as canon, Skywalker is a position and not a last name. So...
Well, what books are those?
I don't remember where, but
if
apparently...
You need to calm down.
I will have to find it to give you the exact reference, and I will link you after, and I will explain it in the next episode in my things. But from what I've read, is Skywalker is given to the person who fights evil and takes the regular person above the crap they live in. So
they just pass it down as a family name for fun?
Yes. As like in this, they've just done it for fun. But
today we have Steven, the spokesperson for Star Wars.
That is how
he's here to tell us about Skywalker.
That is
and what
how
that name
most
means
last
to
names
the franchise.
Came to happen is it's like you were the son of someone, so you became Joe's son. Like that, last names were not creative. They were just like my last name in French basically translates into furnace maker. So I bet if I trace it back long enough, there's going to be some dude that was a blacksmith that made furnaces, and so they. I'm just now
disappointed that you didn't. I'm disappointed you didn't live to your full potential.
I am too. I should be making furnaces.
Yeah, if not in real life, at least on Minecraft. Come on, do something, okay?
I am playing Classic WoW again, so
Oh God, why is everybody doing that? Jesus,
I'm doing 1 month just to get my nostalgia feeling back, and then I'm gonna quit. I don't have time to sit. I don't need
nostalgia. I do not need nostalgia to remember how I wasted the better part of my 19, 20, and 21-year-old time period of my life. Like, joined the Navy, WoW just came out, played it nonstop. And whereas I had fun, I don't need to remember that that's where I had fun for that time. I'm beyond that. Like, I just know I can't do it. I don't know how people are doing it.
It's weird. I'll be honest. It's weird.
I don't get it personally.
And we digress again. Yeah.
Yeah, they re-released World of Warcraft Classic.
So it's the original. It's full vanilla. It's the slow leveling process. It's really crappy drop rates. The original talent trees.
I've never played it.
Original talent trees. So original talent trees are the one thing I really like. The retail version now,
rogues?
I don't like how casual it is.
So rogues can, if they use maces, they get extra stuns, and if they use swords, they get extra damage. And
yep, it's full on right back to the way it was at launch.
Wow! I leveled a rogue from 1 to 60, without doing any quests other than like the first few. I pure grinded it.
Fun
Good times. No, it wasn't. It was a tough life. As soon as Burning Crusade came out, I left. Anyway, we have digressed again.
Yes, we have digressed
even
again.
beyond Sid. Sid is now lost. Like, why did you bring me here? You're awful people.
All right.
But this new poster looks amazing.
It does.
I do want to go back to that. That poster is cool as hell.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how Palpatine comes into the storyline, because I'm
excited
nothing.
Just the movie in general. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good.
Like, is he really in control of everything?
Oh my god, it would make
Everything.
him just so much better than he already was. Oh,
I did not like him, but it makes sense why you would.
Yeah, God,
Evil genius
villains
man
are
over
so
there.
amazing. Yeah, it's so good. So good.
So our next little talking point is Disney Plus and everything about it. So before we get too far into it, apparently if you become a Disney D23 member, not even have to pay, there is a deal that you can get that gets you 40% off Disney Plus. And basically it works out to whatever you pay for Netflix for a year is what you would pay for Disney Plus for 3 years. So I signed up for D23. I'm still waiting for my offer to come through. They say it can take up to 36 to 48 hours. But before we get too far ahead, for those that are wanting Disney Plus, this is probably the best way to do it. It drops the price down to, I think it was $39.99 US a year.
What?
Is that $39.99 or $49.99 a year? Hold on. I have it
Oh my
open.
god. That's an Xbox Live account for 3 years, but that's the price of 1 year for 3 years. That's insane.
Yeah.
Wait, do you get it for 3 years?
You have the option to buy for 3 years. Right.
And how much does it cost you?
So it'd probably be like 110 or 120 US to do 3 years up front.
Oh, it's like you're buying a house at like a certain
you're locking in the price
value,
early.
Basically, you're locking in early. Okay, interesting. For 3 years, huh?
Yeah. Okay. So here it is at the bottom. Promotional offer of $46.99 per year entitles the bearer to a one-time discount of $70 off the regular price of a 3-year subscription, which normally is $209. So it would drop it down to $140. And then it will renew automatically at the end of the 3 years at the current price of $69.99 unless you cancel it.
3 years, man.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm excited for what they've announced for the first 2 years, so I want it. So I will be probably doing what I can to get it, as I still wait for it to be added to my account. So for those that are interested in it, it's probably worth looking into, because we're now going to talk about the many things that they announced again for Disney Plus. So I'm going to go over some of the stuff we're probably not going to talk about too much, a little bit faster. So like the new Phineas and Ferb movie.
Says you.
I know.
Whoa. Okay, let's talk about that. All right. Let's talk about platypuses for a second. Can you give me a history on the? All right, I'm sorry. I do like Phineas and Ferb.
I do like Phineas and Ferb.
That cartoon is spectacular. It's really, really good. Perry the platypus.
Yes, I think Perry's actually probably the only reason I really enjoyed the show.
Whoa! Wow, I do not agree with that.
It's just that's fine. He just happened to be the one thing I liked about it.
Oh, I think it's a very, very smart show. I liked it. I liked Phineas and Ferb. I like how much they pick on their sister. I like that show is so good.
It wasn't really my thing.
Wow, this hurts me. That show is so good. It's so smart. It's so smart.
But this is why we brought Sid on. We need people to not agree.
I usually watched Boomerang. And if I watched Disney Channel after school, it was for like Even Stevens and Lizzie McGuire.
Which Lizzie McGuire's coming back.
Lizzie McGuire's coming back. So perfect segue.
What a segue, Sid. Lizzie McGuire's coming back.
And it stars Hilary Duff as well.
Yeah, she's going to be in it. That's crazy to me. That's crazy. Is her cartoon going to be older now? You know?
Yeah,
right?
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Duff will play an
I'm
older and
interested.
wiser Lizzie in a new series. So I wonder if she's
I
going to be
love
like a
Disney
parent of a
specials.
younger Lizzie.
Oh, interesting. Don't Fuller House this, okay, Disney? Nobody needs that.
Yeah.
Nobody needs that. Nobody needs a Fuller House. All right. No. Or
No.
Girl Meets World, right? Wasn't that the extension of Boy Meets World?
I
Nobody
think
needs it.
so, where they were the dads, which is just
Yeah.
strange. Or like the
Wait,
parents.
what? I was
Yeah,
gonna say the
I
dads.
did say the
Wow, you
dads. It's fine.
gotta. All, dude, you're gonna get us in trouble with that kind of crap. Jesus.
They announced Muppets Now, which is going to be a short form unscripted series.
Is what's his name involved then?
Jim Henson?
Forgetting Sarah Marshall. No, Forgetting Sarah Marshall guy. He bought.
Oh,
He has. I think he has rights to a lot of that stuff. That's why he was in those Muppet movies. I was pretty sure he owns
I don't know.
like a major portion of that. Yeah, Brandon Segal or I don't remember his name. It's gonna bother me though. You guys go ahead. Talk about Muppets now. What's Muppets? What's
they didn't
Muppets
really
now?
that's it. That's
They
all.
just announced that it was
a little
yeah.
series.
And it's going to be unscripted, so it's going to be I don't really know what it is.
Tell me more, I need to know.
I would love to know more. They showed the first images of the Lady and the Tramp.
That looks good though.
It does.
I have a feeling it's going to turn out to be kind of like, the live action Lion King.
Yeah, that's I still haven't seen it. I haven't seen it.
Oh, well.
Because of exactly what you're doing right now is what I've heard and why I'm not really excited I'm not rushing to watch it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just feel like it's going to look like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be all CGI'd and fake looking and ridiculous. And
now,
I'd rather just watch the cartoon, man.
Yeah.
Whereas I agree with that statement, I thought it looked amazing. I thought visually it was pretty stunning, personally. But like when I watched Aladdin, I went in there thinking it was going to be a disaster. The best characters in movies are villains because it makes the hero more interesting. I've said this before for comic books. I think it holds true in anything. I think a hero is a better character when there's a better villain. And when you look at Aladdin and you look at Lion King, Jafar and Scar are a big deal. Like they're a big part of the story.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly didn't have any thought that Jafar was going to be any good, and that honestly shocked me. Aside from a song they added for Jasmine that I thought was way out of place and silly, I thought that Will Smith, which was the most doubt I had, that between him and the guy who played Jafar, Will Smith killed it as Genie. He was amazing. It was very, very impressive. But when you get to Lion King, my favorite song is Be Prepared in Lion King. And they ruin it. They ruin it. Straight ruin it. And I love the actor who plays Scar in the live action, but I did not like Scar in the live action. But so whereas I agree that I would rather just watch the animated series compared to Lion King, I did think that visually it was actually pretty stunning. That's just how I felt. I thought it looked good. But I didn't like Mufasa dies and I didn't care. And that hurts me to say that because if I watch the cartoon, I do care. I just want that to be clear. That's how you know. That's how you freaking know, people. I didn't care that Mufasa died when I watched it in theaters again. I did not care. And I knew it was coming. Everybody knows it's coming. Mufasa's going to die. That's just what happens. I ain't giving nothing away unless you haven't seen Lion King, and then shame on you. But
I cry every time I watch that movie.
Exactly. The cartoon brings it out more. The live action just didn't do it. Like Jess didn't cry either. I just wasn't emotionally invested in it. So, whereas Aladdin wasn't, I thought Aladdin is my favorite Disney movie. If I haven't told anybody that is my favorite Disney movie. Lion King's probably a close second. I would not rewatch the live action Lion King movie. I would actually rewatch the live action Aladdin movie. So.
Wow. Yeah, my family watched Aladdin while I was working, and I was a little disappointed because I'll watch it eventually.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to buy it in order to watch it.
Yeah, that's probably exactly what's going to happen.
And that's how Disney get your money. That's how Disney get your money. Get your money. Get your money.
So
That's
before
how
we
Disney
start
get
getting
your
into
money.
the really crux of what we're going to be talking about probably is so they showed The World According to Jeff Bloom, which is going to be on National Geographic, which actually really kind of intrigues me.
Jeff Goldblum's amazing, and I want to see that show so bad. Like, if it wasn't for The Mandalorian, that might be the show I'm most looking forward to. But it's not. Mandalorian's the show I'm most looking forward to. But The World According to Jeff Goldblum, that, yes.
Yeah, it creeped
I
up
didn't
there
even
in
know
what
that was a thing.
Oh, yeah. That's the National Geographic part, I think.
It is.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
And then before we get to The Mandalorian, which I know you talked about, is so Disney introduced their new class of Disney Legends. So for those that don't know, it's how Disney as a company honors really people that have done a lot for the company, or have been bright stars, contributed to it's like their Walk of Fame. They do a whole like cement hand thing and it gets put away. Yeah. So this year's nominees.
Did they do Tom Holland and have him write Rest in Peace?
They haven't
Spider-Man?
yet. They haven't yet, but I'm sure that'll come. So this year's honorees were Christina Aguilera, Wing Chow, Robert Downey Jr.,
Oh, no.
James Earl Jones, Bette Midler, Kenny Ortega, Barnett Ricci, Robin Roberts, Diane Sawyer, Ming-Na Wen, Hans Zimmer, and Jon Favreau.
Yeah, that was my favorite name to see on the list. That tied
Same.
with Orlando Joe or blah 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 blah.
James Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones.
Thank you, James Earl Jones and Robert Downey Jr. Those three, seeing those names was really really cool. I mean, it's the voice of freaking Darth Vader. I'm sorry, as well as Mufasa.
Exactly,
I mean,
as well as Mufasa.
As well as Mufasa in both movies. So, Lion King,
Yes.
live action and the cartoon. It's so, and I think Jon Favreau, I mean, to give him the credit where credit's due, him and Robert Downey Jr. getting it at the same time, I think is really special.
Yes.
Considering
agree.
they're the ones who worked together to open up the Marvel, MCU officially with Iron Man. I thought it was, I think that's really cool. I'm not trying to take away from all the other people that were, nominated into the Disney Legends. I think that those three people, for me personally, I mean, that's my childhood as well as, my love for the MCU's beginning. And Jon Favreau is easily one of my favorite directors, which is why it hurts me to say out loud that I did not enjoy the Lion King live action movie, because I thought that Jungle Book was fantastic.
Yeah, it hurts me too, because I've pretty much loved everything Jon Favreau has done.
Yeah.
Swingers was one of my favorite movies growing up.
Yeah, him and Vince Vaughn, man.
I absolutely loved Swingers.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
And
I don't think I've seen that one.
That's an old one. So
really
Jon
old.
Favreau's very skinny. He's very young.
Really skinny. It's a young, oh my God.
Vince Vaughn
and
him.
Vince Vaughn.
Yeah.
They're like best friends growing up, trying to make it in Hollywood.
How have I never seen this?
And
yeah, which they're friends in real life.
They are.
Like they have a really good friendship. Which is why, like, when they did the Couples Retreat movie, that
so
was
good.
why they're both in that. Yeah, it's such a good movie.
What's your spirit animal?
Yeah, what's your spirit animal? They asked. The us. And what's crazy is seeing the dude from The Professional, which is like, now we're going back to a very young Natalie Portman and but anyway.
God, the Guitar Hero scene.
Yeah, that's an
battle.
amazing scene. I love that scene. It's so good.
Oh, you guys.
Yep, here we are. Sid, what's up?
Yeah, hey.
What do you want to talk about? D23? Welcome to episode 21, where we're going to talk about
everything but
Vince Vaughn
D23
classics,
Yeah.
such as Swingers and Couples Retreat. We love our romantic comedies here, and we just love to talk about them all the time. We've got a new co-host with us, Sydney. She's here to keep us on track, talking about these fantastic, lovely sitcoms, comedies, and fun stuff there.
I'm going to try. It's not working so well.
The funniest part about the whole like spirit animals and everything is the yoga teacher, and the boom.
Wow, you
still
stayed
going,
on it.
I'm going back there.
Wow,
but that still comes up in my in our life is like we'll hear somebody say boom, and my wife and I both start laughing because we instantly picture that scene.
Boom. Yeah, I can't hear that word without picturing that. So, boom. Okay. It's so good.
Okay, so now we'll get to the Star Wars part of Disney Plus. So let's start with The Mandalorian.
Oh my God. I just want to see Oberon kill people. Okay? I just need to see it.
So just the opening of that trailer. Yes.
So it's Oberon. I don't know his name. He's an amazing actor, but yes, he's one of he probably was my favorite character in Game of Thrones. So I get to see him again. And I watched him in the Ben Affleck movie he did on Netflix, which is actually really good. It's surprisingly a very, very good movie. But it's got the guy that played Jackson, like Sons of Anarchy and stuff. But the actor who plays the actor who plays Oberon, and I wish I had his name, but I don't. But he's the Mandalorian, and I am super excited because guess who else is involved with it?
Jon Favreau. Yep.
Of course.
But I mean, just the opening of that trailer where it's stormtrooper helmets on like
on the spikes, man.
Oh, that's just it made me like totally nerd out and just scream and be like, I want to watch this so bad.
Is that what you call it? You call it nerding out? That's what you named it.
Geeking out. Let's go. Okay, we'll go geek because it makes more sense.
Nerding out, geeking out, whatever you want to call it when you're alone in the room and you've got time to yourself. Whatever you want to give the name to it. I'm good
watching
with it, Steve.
Movies you're watching videos on your computer in the dark room. Yes.
Pedro Pascal, thank you. Sid to the rescue. Pedro Pascal.
The guy from Forgetting Sarah Marshall, Jason Segel.
That's it.
Jason Segel. Yeah, he wrote the Muppets movie, but I guess he's got some stake in it because Disney owns it, of course, but he's got some stake in it. Like he's in love with the Muppet stuff, which is why, like in Forgetting Sarah Marshall, remember how he does the
Muppets,
the puppet, the Muppet show. There's a reason for that, but that's the reason because he loves the Muppets. That's why he wanted to do the Muppet stuff. That's like a thing for him. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, I'm interested in the Mandalorian. You said Pedro Pascal?
Yes.
Double P. I'm going to try to remember this man's name because I love him so much. He's not only devilishly handsome, but the guy can act. So he's got it all. Just saying. Yeah, and he's going to be wearing Mandalorian armor. So take me now, Pedro. Take me now.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
Oh, Mr. Pascal, I want to geek out just like Steve told me about right now. I'm going to go geek out to Pedro alone. All right, boys and girls.
Oh, man. So let's get this back to being wholesome and let's talk about the Clone Wars.
I tried to be wholesome and not curse, and then you cursed more. So I don't know what to tell you.
Are they going to... Clone Wars, are they going to put all of them on Disney Plus?
Yes.
So yes,
thank
the
God,
entire
I'll finally be able to watch them.
Yeah, so you didn't watch it while it was on Netflix.
Nope.
It is. I was actually having a discussion with somebody the other day. I was talking to some friends, and they don't like. They didn't like our episodes, our trilogy, because one, we agree too much, and two, we actually like Star Wars. So, shame on them. But they claim to like Star Wars, but I think either I'm way too close to Star Wars, or they don't understand Star Wars. They claimed Rogue One wasn't a Star Wars movie, which I disagree with entirely. It's a very good Star Wars movie. Yeah, exactly. So I think Rogue One for me is probably my second favorite Star Wars movie of all time. Like behind Empire. Empire is easily my favorite. But we started discussing this. Yeah, thank you. And we started discussing it. And I think I made mention of this in our trilogy episodes. But like, if I could include the TV shows, seriously, Clone Wars is my second favorite Star Wars thing ever. Because it is a slow start, Sid. It will take you. My uncle told me as soon as you watch the last episode of the first season, you'll be hooked. And it was right, because it involves a certain character that gets introduced, but it played to my love, specifically kind of a connection to Boba Fett in a way. So that's why I fell in love with it.
At the end. Got it.
Yeah, of course, yes. But more, yeah. Anyway, but there's some characters that I fell in love with along the way, and that what I like to talk about with Clone Wars is one, it's impressive that kids show kills so many innocent people. It's a lot of death in that show. They show it and don't show it. It's kind of crazy. Clones are treated like insects, like they just die all the time.
Well, they're
But
clones,
what's cool about it?
so
Yeah, well, yeah, right. It reminds me a lot about like Harry Potter is what I compared it to. I think Clone Wars follows the Harry Potter type sequence. So it starts very child friendly and it grows up with you. So as you
Okay.
move through the seasons, it gets very, very adult. So you get what I mean then. It is a very compelling grouping of stories. It's the Anakin we deserve. Anakin Skywalker in Clone Wars is the best version of that character ever. And Ahsoka Tano is now a hard tie. And this is me loving a hero. Ahsoka Tano is a hard tie for me with Boba Fett as my favorite character in the Star Wars universe. Ahsoka Tano is incredible. And her, also known as Snips, her, Anakin, and Obi-Wan, the adventures they go on are just amazing. But the adult stuff, like, it really starts to hit as you move further in the series. And towards the end, when they do the Lost episodes and you get to see journeys that some of the characters go on, like Yoda, it gets real deep, and it is incredible storytelling. So I'm interested, and I am getting back to the point of this new season that's coming out. I'm interested to see that. I am bummed that if any of you watched the trailer, and I said this before, I think, Steve, did you already watch the trailer?
oh yeah, of course I did.
Yeah. And so it ruins something very big.
I will forget the trailer by the time I watch it. So
yeah, but I'm sorry. I just don't think you'll forget this. But either way, it ruined something in the trailer. So if you haven't seen the trailer for the new Clone Wars, I advise you to not do it. But
I don't
if you
really
want
watch
to, and
trailers very often, anyways. So.
Yeah, well, you're big. You're real big on story, Sid, and you don't forget. So I would highly recommend you do not touch that trailer. Watch the series because it'll make it more impactful to be excited about the new season.
Okay.
I'm excited because I want it to be clear. I love Ahsoka so much. I read a book at your house, actually, Sid, when we were living there. I read a book without pictures in it as soon as it came out. I read a book as soon as it was released. I don't do that. Okay,
that's impressive.
Yeah, which led into also Rebels and tells a story there too, which Rebels is an incredible show as well. It's hard for me to place that above Rogue One or under Rogue One. Like it's right around there. But anyway, the shows are amazing. Clone Wars is incredible. I'm excited about it. Did they announce more about Clone Wars?
No,
I know they
just
showed
said
that
it was
trailer.
February 2020.
Okay, so they've given us a date now.
They've given us a date now. Yeah.
That's
Initially,
exciting.
It was just spring 2020 or early 2020. Now it's February.
Yeah,
so
that's good news. Even earlier than I would have thought for spring, right? Spring could have been like April.
Yeah, which
that gives me 2.5 months to watch
everything.
all of Clone Wars.
Plus everything else that's coming out.
Yeah.
On Disney Plus, because you're adding in all the other shows. Like
now, Mandalorian's released on release of Disney Plus, correct?
I don't know. Yes, I want to say yes, but I don't know 100%. But yes.
You about
either
to talk about
same
Ewan
day
McGregor?
or like a couple days later.
Yeah,
they're really close dates.
You about to talk about Ewan McGregor?
I was. Ewan McGregor was announced as Obi-Wan for a new series coming to Disney Plus.
Hey.
I'm actually excited.
That's the response.
I am actually really excited though.
Yeah, and I don't care that everybody's mad. We all agree because he was an amazing Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I'm excited to see him again. So,
and I don't know what timeline they're going to go with him being. Like, is this going to be after the whole Anakin thing? Like, there's so much they could do that I think would be really cool. Like, they could explain what he did after he left and ended up on, living in a cave in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
hey, there ain't going to be much to tell there.
Well, yeah, because he's on Tatooine, which is a boring place, and Luke's just going to be a baby. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with that.
Does he stay on Tatooine the whole time, like, or does he deliver them to the aunt and uncle and then go away for a while and then come back?
That's a fair point. Yeah, I'd be interested to see what kind of story they tell with that. As long as Hayden Christensen's never in a Star Wars product again, I'll be okay.
Oh, poor man.
No, poor us. Okay, poor us.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So that was the end of Star Wars, which now leads us back to Marvel.
No, the end of Star Wars will be never.
No, it's never ending. But
it's a circle.
It is.
It's a circle. Oh my God! All I see now is Chuck and Larry. I now pronounce you. He's a circle. He's a circle. Rob Schneider's so good. I love movies. You can do it. It's a circle. Yeah, it's a circle. Hi.
Why that guy only ever gets roles in Adam Sandler movies, I will never know.
Because he tried doing his own movies and they weren't good.
This is actually true.
Ooh. Disney Plus's Marvel stuff. Ms. Marvel, She-Hulk.
And Moon Knight. So yes, they announced.
I figured that digression was my fault, so I should get us back on track.
It works.
So there you go.
Works. So now there are three new series coming.
Yeah.
3 new series. So She-Hulk, Ms. Marvel, and Moon Knight. So,
Steve, which one are you most excited about and why?
Without knowing any casting for them.
Yep.
I want to say Moon Knight. Because I think that has the ability to do something that DC can't do, and that is to show a proper Batman.
I thought Moon Knight had powers.
I'll have to look, but I thought Moon Knight was Marvel's version of Batman.
No, believe that's incorrect. I think you need to fix yourself.
Moon Knight is a fictional superhero appearing in American comic books published by DC. I want to see powers. Abilities: expert detective, proficient in martial arts and armed combat, increased strength, endurance, and agility depending on the lunar cycle. So he does have a little bit of power granted by the moon.
Yeah, because he's Moon Knight. Okay.
Yeah. He's.
What about you, Sid?
Batman.
Oh, he's not Batman. God.
He's Marvel's Batman.
I'm gonna reach through the internet and kill you, Steven.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know enough about those 3 comics.
So Miss Marvel is Captain Marvel's training partner's daughter. So
okay. Oh yeah, I remember you guys talking about her in the previous episode.
So she'll become Miss Marvel. So they've kind of already hinted at that. If they follow the comic book story, and I know Aaron's sitting there ready to rip my throat out across the internet. She-Hulk is the cousin to Bruce Banner, I believe. And she gets her powers because she gets sick, and then Bruce gives her an injection of his blood, which then gives her power.
They're not doing Kamala Khan as Miss Marvel?
I have no idea. I don't know who they are doing.
They haven't announced that.
They haven't announced which story they're doing. My gut is because they've already introduced the daughter through Captain Marvel, and she does become I'm pretty sure she was Miss Marvel. I could be totally wrong on that, actually.
That's the one that I would be more excited to see, honestly, is Miss Marvel.
So Miss Marvel is a shapeshifter with healing factor type stuff. So let's... Okay. That's fair. I like it. So mine's conditional. So the thing with She-Hulk is she's a lawyer, right? Which is kind of cool in its own way, because then you deal with like prosecution type stuff. It'd be kind of like a Law and Order show, but with a superhero, which I think is neat. Kamala Khan, if they use that character or whatever, she's like real stretchy and stuff. She can do really cool things. But I am least excited. So here's my order. My order is number one's Moon Knight. I think Moon Knight's awesome. She-Hulk would be second, and Camilla Khan, or the Miss Marvel story would be third. Conditionally, Miss Marvel could be my favorite. Here's why. Miss Marvel has run-ins with Squirrel Girl very often. If Squirrel Girl ends up in a show, it immediately becomes my favorite. I just want that to be abundantly clear that if Miss Marvel ends up bringing in Squirrel Girl, that becomes my favorite hands down. No questions asked. It's just the way it is.
Okay.
Makes sense.
I'm preemptively saying my screw up. It is not. I totally had it wrong. She's not Miss Marvel. She is Photon or Pulsar.
Yeah.
And it's
okay,
Monica Rambeau. I had the confused. I'm all confuzzled up here in Canadias.
Oh, it's okay.
But yeah,
my
I'm
goodness
still.
sakes.
oh my goodness sakes.
Sorry.
Steven, it's all right. It's okie dokie.
So are we still talking about D23 Marvel?
We are. Yes.
Sorry, not D23. The Disney Plus Marvel stuff,
Yes, the
or
Disney Plus
the
Marvel
new
stuff.
can we talk about another new movie they're coming out with?
Sure. Which
The
one did I miss?
Eternals.
Oh God, yeah, I totally missed the Eternals.
Yeah.
Where they brought out Jon Snow, who was playing the Dark Knight or Black Knight. Black
Knight. God, you are stuck on Batman.
am
Batman
so
is in the
stuck
DC
on
universe, Steven. Moon Knight's not Batman. The Black Knight's not the Dark Knight.
Let's blame it on the fact that I saw the first released image of Edward as Batman, and it's ingrained itself in my brain. I'll blame
Was
it
he
on that.
sparkly in the sunlight?
No, he was glistening in the Dark Knight.
I'm sorry.
If you don't listen to his words, he'll put you in a trance and you'll fall in love.
Oh God, I think I'm gonna name this episode 21 "Glistening in the Dark Knight."
Nobody's gonna want to listen to this whole thing, guys.
Nobody is.
Although the case of the missing R went over really well, apparently.
Yeah,
the
really
Ofen Maker. Good job.
The
Yeah.
Ofen Maker.
That's what happens when you edit a podcast at 2:00 in the morning and it has to be released at 4, and you're like, quick, type.
Oh, Steve.
Yes.
Yeah,
But no, the
Eternals looks cool.
Yeah.
Jon Snow up in this house.
The cast
And
actually
Angelina
looks really
Jolie?
cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And Salma Hayek.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
more important to me because
No, the casting is actually really incredible. And I just realized that is actually not on this information link I provided as I'm
It's
scrolling
not.
through it. I am very disappointed
it
because it has
separately.
everything else. Wow. I am very sad in my information providing. My scouring of the internet failed me.
Nah.
But yeah, no.
you failed you, Steven.
I am actually
You
really
failed
excited for the Eternals because I think they can do some really cool things with that story depending on where they go.
No, I'm sorry. If they don't have Spider-Man, they're just not going to make a good movie. So
They're going to be introducing mutants with the movie, okay? That's what they should be doing anyways. Is my gut says it's how they're gonna retcon in mutants into the universe.
is Batman going to do it for him?
Yes.
Wrong universe, man. Wrong universe.
Oh, my bad. I must be being Steven right now. I just
As if you
can't help
didn't already
myself.
know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God,
I didn't. I
there
had
was
no idea.
actually an article that came out. Somebody was like, "What movies could beat Endgame?" And one of them was like DC versus Marvel. I'm like, who is Marvel gonna fight? There's nobody they would fight because there's nobody cast in any roles anymore. It's like you have Wonder Woman and that's it. Oh, and Aquaman. So, but it's, yeah, I don't know. Hopefully DC will figure out their life at some point.
I think they're on the right track, honestly. After Shazam and that, anyway, this is a whole nother thing. We talked about this already.
Yeah.
We talk about it constantly.
Y'all have talked about that.
Yeah. We'll get back
I think
to
that's
it, though.
pretty
I'm
much
sure.
it for D23, though.
I think it is.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Which would mean it's
Besides
the end of her
getting
episode.
into like foreign parks, but I mean,
We covered them
travel.
briefly. A few changes, but yeah, no.
We talked about something in Hong Kong.
Yep,
Yes,
Hong Kong's
and
getting a
Paris.
revamp, and Paris is getting some new stuff. So
Yeah.
no, I think we covered
we're
pretty
global.
much everything
We've
now.
gone global. Yeah.
At least all the important stuff that we want to talk about.
Yeah, so if you guys are as excited about Batman as I am, just let us know in the chat, or tell us about what your favorite, Batman moments are and why Batman's important to you.
God, you're such a dick.
Just keep digging the knife in, man.
Yeah. It's not hot enough in the room I'm in right now, anyways, that I'm already like punishing myself for recording. That you got to just keep digging and digging and digging. This is why.
Do you not have like an air conditioner in your utility belt?
Nope.
Did you not come prepared?
I did not come prepared.
I will go to the rooftop and I will put a spotlight up there for you and I will summon help.
Oh God.
I'm losing my shit.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
On that
right.
note.
On that note, you will be able to reach us on all our normal socials, which I will post in the show notes. You can find us at the Can You Geek podcast Facebook page and Can You Geek Nerds group, and on Patreon, Can You Geek podcast. So,
Yeah, buddy.
Thank you, Sid. This was a great first episode to have you officially as part of the team.
Yeah.
Yeah, welcome.
It was so much. Oh, I'm having so much fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
This will be good.
Oh, I'm honestly excited for this. So, on that note, later, nerds.
Later, nerds.
Later, nerds.
Today's music is used by permission from the artist Broke for Free. The song is called Something Illegal. You can find it on freemusicarchive.org under the